What's going on, folks? What's up? What's up? Actually, let me double check my audio, even though it seems good. And I know I should probably spend the time that y'all sitting there listening to that fucking music to do this, but I always remember when I see stuff and things. All right, it's fine. Anyway, so welcome to the brain bleach episode of whatever the fuck this is. What's going on, folks, in the chat? Yes, this today right here, what we're looking at, believe it or not, is brain bleach. Because, oh my God, did people respond to that video of Shani and Rev. Holy shit. You think it's bad, just think of how bad it was for me sitting here. That people literally paid money just so she could stop talking. There are better things to spend your money on. But that being said, what I was encouraged to make a new, I guess, stream OBS thing, super chat, whatever fucking thing. So it's basically a kill command for you in the chat that if you really want to, you can, if y'all are going to abuse the super chat, then at a certain amount, it is the kill command where it's something that is long and obnoxious and it will drown out anything that is being played because it's at an exceptionally loud volume. So anytime you hear it, that is the brain bleach button. So I think that it's going to be look at my horse for about a minute straight, loud as fuck. So that's what I'm thinking. Yeah. What y'all heard yesterday wasn't even the worst. Like that's not even the worst that she has. So supposedly there is a video made, and I don't know because I actually have goals in life. I was in my molecular biology laboratory, and I'm getting messages that holy shit, you must have really triggered her. She uploaded a video, and there's a whole tirade of stuff. And somebody actually was kind enough to type out all the stuff that she had said, because I've still not listened to it, because I'm going to save it, and I'll explain why in a minute. I'm not going to pass. I'm not going to, finish school. When I do finish school, I'm not going to get a job. I'm not sure how that works out. I live off my wife, even though I pay most of the bills and I have most of the income. Just all types of stuff. A lot of it is funny because it's stuff that G-Man has said and that she's disagreed with in the past. So it's really interesting to kind of hear her now use his rhetoric, to hear her repeat the same things that she herself has helped debunk. But that's fine. That's funny as shit. That's okay. One of the more interesting things, because I find shit like that funny, one of the more interesting things is that I'm going to learn not to mess with rich people. That's a really interesting statement because there are people who get paid a lot more than what Shani and Rev think they have. And let me say, some of them actually really enjoy my channel. No bullshit. And they actually laugh every time Shani and Rev make statements about their income. In fact, one of them actually calculated how much Rev actually gets based on certain things they said in the past, things that they've shown, bits of information here and there, and even at a generous amount, they make a fraction of what, this person makes in real life doing actual work. But it's really interesting to hear stuff like that because that comes from folks who have never actually worked hard in their life. And I feel no compunction about me saying that because a lot of you are listening to this. Y'all are at work. A lot of y'all who are listening to this, y'all are working your 9 to 5. You're putting in the time and effort in order to do what you have to do in life. You're not living off of somebody else's hard work because you're fucking lazy and inept. And if you're offended by that, I don't know what to fucking tell you. That's the reality of the situation. I'm giving you a description of what is objectively shown in reality. Don't know what to tell you. I myself have in the place that I am now because I work for it. I have been able to put my family in a place that is much better than I was 15 years ago because I put in work, because there's perseverance, there's determination, there's not sitting on my fucking ass and making excuses for shit in my life. So you can be mad as you want to. G-Man can be mad, Shani and Rev can be mad. That's whatever. It does not bother me in the slightest. What should bother them are the people whose ire you've now drawn. And oh boy, are things going to get fun. Real fun in the future. So, I'm not going to spoil some of the surprises, but that being said, I'm not going to review Shani's recent videos. People have already downloaded it. If she gets ashamed and takes it down, doesn't matter. It is going on the salt mine. That video is going on the salt mine. And rather than just hearing me talk, you're going to hear from people who have been following Shani for quite some time. And specifically somebody who caught a lot of her post arrest narrative. Somebody who felt personally offended about how she characterized the police. They took the time to download some of those tirades. So what we're going to do on Assault Mine is give people a blast from the past. We're going to play what she said about that event, and then we're going to see what actually happened. Because one of the best things in the world that you can do is shine a light on bullshit. So, since that is upsetting the people, since folks are upset that I'm shining a light on bullshit, that's exactly what we're going to do. But why not do it with friends? Why not have more people in on it? Because, hell, I can sit here and talk all day long, but hearing from other people who've been watching this and following it a lot closer than me, I think would be even better. So that's what we're going to do on the Salt Mine, folks. And man, oh man, if she needs to employ some more nearly homeless folks to help with lawsuits, she's going to have a hell of a time doing it in Canada. So on that note, folks, Deroy Crews, your life application officer here. This is actually part 3 of, I think, a 5-part series he made. And I still don't know. I barely remember doing part 2, but I know that who was a Converse Contender, I think, took excerpts, segments of this to put on his own channel and try to do something with it. Good luck, motherfucker. But he didn't actually get anywhere, and that's not really strange for him. That's not, atypical for him. But man, was it a struggle, if I recollect correctly. And I think this one is going to be just like it. I've not listened to this in the least. I just made sure that I didn't already review it. But hell, I'm just going to be honest with you. We're probably going to get zero traction in any topic in any way, shape, or form. Some of you may have noticed, if you are already subscribed to fucking Christian Lives Matter, that's the name of it, that he did upload something very interesting. The latest video he uploaded was about women. Now, if you've listened to anything from Deroy, anything at any point in time, you know he has a particular disdain for women. You can read into that however much you want to, but that's something that's very, very obvious in his last video. In fact, I actually sat and I listened to most of it, and half of it is just him saying how much he's attracted to this woman that he's trying to excoriate. He doesn't actually get into criticizing her because he's going into detail about how beautiful she is and how much it's just a detriment to things, and he can't actually connect the dots. His mind keeps going back to it. This keeps going back to her skin and her thighs and how beautiful she is and her hair, and just you can tell the repressed sexuality, or what is confused sexuality, is trying to find a way to express itself. And man, is it coming out. It's just when you just open the spigot just a little bit, and a just avalanche just comes out of it. So man, oh man, oh man. There's little that I can say about that video, other than it's just a spectacle to watch. Like that's it. I might play a little bit of it at some point in time just to hear it, because there's nothing that I can add to that. There's no commentary that I can make other than you need to go beat your meat to this chick and leave her alone, because this is how you make, what is that show? I think it's called YOU. About that fucking psycho dude who gets obsessed over women. That's the kind of shit we see here. But all right. Anyway, Deroy Crews.
Well, hello, atheists.
Hi.
Good afternoon, Deroy Crews, your life applications officer. I want to be very clear. I'm not really into picking at atheists any more than I'm into being picked on. But again, the problem I have with atheism is the evidence of them. The evidence of them, you people, you atheists, is all over my toilet paper. Every time I go to the bathroom.
What?
Every time I get sick and have to spit in the can. The evidence of atheism is right there. I'm sorry. I know this sounds R-rated. But every time I see a pretty girl and I say, oh, she's so pretty, and then she farts, and everybody leaves the building, you know that atheism exists. Okay? Really? I mean, come on, man. I mean, you look good, you sound good. You look good. You look good. You sound good.
What?
But you're not good.
What?
You look good. You sound really good. But you're not good.
What does that
You
mean?
look very sophisticated. You sound very intelligent. You really went out of your way to look intelligent.
Thank you.
You studied a lot of science, a lot of evolution to prove.
Yeah.
You done a lot of, stuff to prove
What's it got to do
how
with atheism?
dumb these Christians are and how dumb a belief in God is.
Because evolution and belief in God are...
You look intelligent.
There's no way to reconcile that.
You sound intelligent, but you're not intelligent.
Oh, Deroy, you're hurting me. Stop it. Stop it.
You look intelligent.
Thank you.
You sound intelligent.
Thank you.
But you're not intelligent.
How many fucking times you got to repeat that? We got it. Jesus.
Because the thing is, even though one could survive, and I agree 100% with Sam Harris, you can survive without the belief in a God. I'm still trying to figure out what church, what denomination, what religion told all these atheists that, oh, you have to become a Christian or you're going to die.
Actually, the church that I went to actually said some shit like that. Not literally. Like it wasn't. And I think that he misunderstands what's there. There's some subtext there. There's a little bit of nuance. The churches that I went to, specifically like the Pentecostal one, you can't actually live a full life without believing the same shit that we believe. They insisted on that, right? You can survive. You can go out in the wild and survive, right? But you're not going to live the same type of life as someone in a first world nation, right? That's the comparison there. Like that, I think that's what he's missing here. And even to this day, I got family members who believe that. Even though I'm doing way better than they are in life, that's something that they hold to. That is something that they definitely hold to. You can't actually live a full life. You are missing out on something if you don't adopt the beliefs that we have, because that makes all the difference, evidently. So what's funny is that Deroy himself has made several claims like that. But I think that he misses the point here, because thinking with the stuff and in the head is kind of hard for him. So that it happens. It's okay, Deroy. It's all right. We're gonna help you. Actually, no, we're not, because you block anybody who disagrees with you. What does that sound like?
And hell is a long way off, Mr. Sam Harris. Hell is a long way off.
Sam Harris is definitely gonna watch this.
First, you have to die. Then you have to wait for the day of judgment. This is what we believe. I don't expect you to believe this.
Good.
This is what we believe.
Okay.
You have to wait for the day of judgment.
Yep.
Okay? And then, after your rights are read to you, when God rewards you for being such a great atheist and showing all these idiot Christians how much of an idiot they are and burning their Bibles and, some of y'all practicing genocide on Christians. Y'all killing Christians and going into schools and holding them up because it's a Christian school or somebody, because the school is divided by Christians and non-Christians or some of that nonsense.
Where's
you
that
go
happening?
in there and you kill all these people. You were good atheists.
He's just making shit up now.
Atheists. When you stand before God on Judgment Day, God is going to say, "Well done, good and faithful atheists. Enter into the joy of the Lord."
Like, he just makes up shit. This whole club makes up
He's
shit.
going to say, "Oops, wait, I was joking." You better get your butt over there in that hole over there with the flames coming out of it. You better.
Oh. You got me, Deroy. You got me.
Praise the Lord. Let's start on him. Let's start on Sam Harris. I don't know what I want to call this video.
So why did he start taking notes before? So he started taking notes before I engaged with him, and then he stopped doing it. I just noticed that. I'm looking. So if y'all, okay, some of y'all don't know what I'm talking about, and that's why I keep referring y'all to the playlist. I took the time to make a playlist, and some of y'all want to see me be petty. Go to that fucking playlist, because I'm not making a video every goddamn day. Like the Daily Atheist, by the way, who makes videos every goddamn day. You should probably go watch him. But this guy, this guy, we had back and forth. We had an exchange of sorts, and I noticed that he is just so fucking scatterbrained. He could never stay on the same topic, and I suggested that he write his stuff down. So at some point in time, because this was April 2018, I didn't start engaging him until later on, like in the fall, if I remember correctly. But he has notes, and you can see them. If I scroll back a little bit, you can actually see the notes. So he stopped using them, and which is crazy because they really don't seem to help him stay on topic. So I don't know. Maybe he figured that, I guess it's his. This is his manifesto. 20 pages, 9-point font. It's serious business, folks. Serious business. When somebody writes a 20-page manifesto in 9-point font, complete with interviews and pictures and shit. That's how you know this person has their life together. That's how you know this person knows how to handle difficult situations. Anyway, I just there's little things like that I pick up on. And I think it's interesting. It's interesting to see the evolution, we're going to use that term, of people. Like, people, if you want to go back, you want to see some funny shit, go back and watch some of my early videos. Terrible. Absolutely fucking terrible. I don't take them down because I think they're hilarious. If you make a comparison, that there's a lot of shit that I got wrong. You have access to the old naughty hangouts. A lot of shit that I got wrong. But it was fun. It's a learning process. That's why I kind of miss those open hangouts where people wouldn't hide from folks they disagree with. So, Deroy here, he wrote something down. I want to, in I guess the next 30 minutes or so, find out what he actually means when he says atheism is in a test tube. He has these little phrases, and I think they're cute, that he tries to couch fairly broad analysis of something in little bitty phrases, little bitty bumper sticker phrases. And I think that it is absolutely cute. The problem with that is that he never really gets around to elucidating them, and that's why it's hard to follow him, especially when he rambles. And it's not just a 2 or 3 minute ramble. They're like 20-minute ramblings, and it's like, what were we talking about? And that's what makes these painful. And yes, I will speed him up a bit because people need to. Oh shit. Okay. Well. Oh yeah, that is a thing, isn't it? You can do all that. You can make it really big. There we go. Look at that, Deroy, folks. That's a big Deroy. That's how big he wishes he was. All right, let's. There we go. There we go.
But I was listening to a debate.
That's a work schedule.
With Sam Harris.
You were?
Sam Harris.
What was he saying?
And my man Jimmy Lane. Is it Jimmy Lane?
William.
I'm thinking of the clothing store for women. William.
Why would you
Lane Craig.
Clothing store? Okay.
Jimmy Lane. Mr. Harris, good Lord help us. Somebody help the brother. Where did I put his notes at? I wrote down some of the
my camera
nonsense.
was all the way fuck over here.
Now, I'm going to tell you something. I'm glad I don't debate. I'm glad I'm not a debater.
Yeah, you're not. At all. Whatsoever. I'm not either, so to be fair.
I'm glad I'm not a great debater.
Great debater.
Because if I was a debater...
What would you do?
I would not show up for a debate with Sam Harris, because if I showed up for a debate with Sam Harris... You know, Sam Harris... I'm going to tell you something. This is where Christians need to follow the Bible on this instead of playing this game. The Bible tells you not to cast your pearls before swine. Why?
Oh.
I should have got the verse. I'll get it out in the next video. There's a second verse after that.
I see what you're saying.
The reason why the Bible tells you not to cast your pearls before swine, because they will turn around and rent you in two. They will turn around and steal your pearls and rent you in two. One verse of scripture puts it like that. I got to look it up.
I see the problem.
But there's a reason why we don't cast our pearls before swine. It's got nothing to do with, if we don't cast our pearls before swine, we'll prove that they're just idiots. No. You don't cast your pearls before swine to protect yourself. That's why we don't cast our pearls before swine.
Okay, so good old Deroy Crews here has a misconception, and it happens. This is not something that's unique to Deroy. This is not something that's just, something that people should excoriate him or judge him on. This is actually a fairly common misconception about debates. You're not really trying to convince your interlocutor. You're trying to convince an audience. That's why they're public. So I think that's something that needs to be stated. And I get what Deroy is saying from his perspective. He's right. He's absolutely right. You're probably not going to convince William Lane Craig of what Sam Harris has to say, and Sam Harris is, vice versa, right? It's not. It is for, folks, the audience. The audience gets to decide who exactly needs to be believed when it comes to whatever the fucking topic is. It doesn't matter. So that's the main reason why debates are conducted. So I think that needs to be understood. What we typically see here on the YouTube Googles, not really debates. And I say that, and I've been fairly consistent with this, is that you don't get to ambush somebody with information. Like, that adds a fun dynamic to it, but how many debates have you actually walked away from understanding more about the topic? Whether you agree with it or not, right? You end up arguing over points that are non-controversial in academia. The stuff, and I'll give you an example, the stuff like true empiricism, for instance, put forth about American history, he's demonstrably fucking wrong. There is no actual debate on these topics in academia. That's why he Googles shit before he goes live in the parking lot of his goddamn job, right? That's why he's on that level, and he's not standing in front of fucking class teaching it. The stuff that Standing for Truth says about genetics, absolutely fucking wrong. In fact, it's funny, some of the stuff that he talks about and some of the research that he references is loosely connected to scientist Sam, who, guess what, actually knows one of the guys who was on said project. So it's interesting that we tacitly promote people on this platform that have no actual firm understanding of some of these topics. But when you get people like William Lane Craig and Sam Harris, who actually have quite a bit of education, quite a bit of knowledge on certain topics, that we think that somehow we can take the essence of that and distill it down to what you see here. And it does not translate at all. So, but that, folks, is my opinion, my personal opinion that's actually shared between a lot of people. And after me watching this stuff go by for 7, 8, 9 years, that's kind of where I'm at with that. I don't feel like I gain. I feel like I get stupid after watching some of these engage, even with people I like. Even people I like, whether they do good or bad, I still feel that way. So I'm not going to take that away from anybody. If you enjoy watching some of these controlled shit shows, then watch them by all means. But I really don't have any interest. My interests are watching. My interests are getting vindication. Vindication. Vindifucking-cation from a game that I played nearly a decade ago as a child. Monster Rancher 2. I could never get my monster to live long enough to compete in the S-rank battles in the IMA versus FIMBA tournaments. They always died. And I'm watching a 7-hour, 100% playthrough just so I can get vindication. Absolutely. Absolutely. What is any of that, y'all ask? Don't even worry about it. It's for me. That's for me. That's me personally.
Because sometimes you're right. That's just like when I was a kid and you know, my mom didn't understand.
Penny story.
I'm the good guy.
Yes.
Why am I getting a whooping? You sent me here to play with these kids. These kids are bad. Now, something got stolen. Something's missing. People are mad. Everybody's fighting. Everybody's arguing.
Hello. How are you?
All the parents are here. Okay? You know you raised me better than that. Now, these kids want to lie on me and their parents want to say, oh, they want to put me in it. When they know. I told them, you might want to leave the thing alone. Don't touch it. It doesn't belong to us. How did I get a whooping? What did they get? Nothing. But I got my butt whooped. Okay?
What was that story in
And
reference
it's the same thing here. You know what I'm saying? Like Sam Harris showed. Sam Harris showed William Lane Craig that
Jimmy Hoffa, yeah.
No matter what you say, William Lane Craig, the evidence against you is right here. And the thing is, they were talking about one thing, and Harris knew he wasn't going to beat him in that. So he decided to go to the same old spaghetti monster doctrine about look at what the Muslims are doing. And Sam Harris and Craig was like, I'm not a Muslim. Why you keep going there? Well, you know, Sam Harris, I'm paraphrasing, it's the same thing. No, it's not.
Okay, so I think I know the debate that he's referencing. I'm not going to say I remember it or remember that. I think it's the dangers of religion. It's something to that effect. It may or may not be. One of y'all might know offhand. I am cautious to take his word on it. Every time that I've said, you know what, you may be right about that. Let me give you an inch. Let me just concede whatever that point is, just so we can get through with whatever the hell you're saying. I found that when I actually go back to whatever the discussion or debate was, Deroy doesn't actually understand what they're talking about. And I'm not talking about, you're stupid, you know, he didn't understand the guy that I'm rooting for, Sam Harris. No, Sam Harris probably made a stupid fucking point. Absolutely. I have no problem saying that. Probably. I don't think that Deroy understood the context of what either of them was talking about. Anytime that he's mentioning this stuff, he goes based on what he remembers. Fair enough, we all do. But there's nothing of substance that he has specifically identified as this is the topic, this is the thesis overall for whatever the discussion is. Here's specifically what William Lane Craig was saying, and then here's a retort that Sam Harris was trying to put forth. And this is just a summary of it. I'm paraphrasing, as G-Man likes to say. So I don't hear that from him. In fact, when he's retelling some of these stories, he's gotten shit so ass backwards that he has rewritten entire episodes of Law and Order SVU. If y'all don't remember that, there is an episode of Law and Order SVU that dealt with the rights of a lesbian wife to her adoptive daughter. And the lesbian's partner had actually died. And so it is... It was a legal battle based on, okay, well, who has rights? Is it the grandparents, the biological grandparents, or is the wife of the lesbian mother? And so there was a court case, and it hinged on a few things. One of the things that was brought up was the supposed abuse, like sexual abuse, of this child that was brought on from the lesbian spouse. And so the grandparents got this lawyer and showing him all these fucked up statistics that he misrepresented as proof. And then when they actually interviewed the child didn't indicate any sexual abuse. That last fact right there, that's something that Deroy actually said didn't happen. There was no actual vindication on that aspect. He insisted that they skipped over the fact that she was sexually abused, and then the lesbian mother got a free child. I want to say that was almost the exact, like, verbatim words that he used. But that was a major turning point in the fucking story, because as he started talking about it, I was like, I remember that. And we went and looked it up, and sure enough, fucking Dr. Wong interviewed the kid and said, no, what the child describing is a medical exam. That's not sexual abuse. And so the grandparents and the lawyer that they had twisted that into something sexual where it wasn't. So Deroy actually fabricated shit and omitted shit to get a point across. Now, it is possible that he somehow misremembered the fuck out of that episode. It's possible, but my God, he had to actually make up shit in order to fill in that gap. It's possible that he did not remember what happened, and he filled in what he thinks happened based on certain presuppositions he has about whatever. So I find that hard to believe, but I'd be remiss if I did not open that possibility. Maybe that's just how his brain works. But my God, that's why I'm always cautious as to believing him when he says that he understands the discussion, or when he wants to weigh in on when anybody's saying any goddamn thing. Just saying. So, I'm just, ugh.
And he said something that he made a boo-boo.
What did he say? What did he fucking say?
He made a boo-boo.
What did he fucking say?
Clearly proven a 2-year-old that's a Christian can tell this knucklehead didn't do his homework.
What did he say?
Said the same people that killed children and buried them under buildings are the same people that wrote the Bible. Evidence, please. Citation, please. Evidence, citation. Evidence, citation. Evidence, citation. Evidence, citation. Evidence, citation. Straw man argument. Evidence, citation. Straw man. Evidence, citation. Straw man, citation. Evidence, straw man. Come on, give it to me, Craig. Give it to me, Harris. I'm sorry, Harris. Give it to me. Where is it? Where's the evidence of this?
I'm about to make a new song out of this.
You can look back at all the documents you want. You'll find out. And the sad truth is, he was only able to condemn 2 religions.
Okay, it sounds like the point that Harris was making was that some of the original scribes of the Bible ended up doing some very atrocious things in their lifetime, which would not be strange for people in the 1st and 2nd century. They didn't have the same, system of societies that we have today. There was no such thing as childhood, which makes a huge fucking difference. But that's the more nuanced point. If Harris is drawing a comparison between the morality of people in the 1st and 2nd century to what they have claimed to live by, and that people should live by the morals and the teachings of people in this time period, that is definitely a more nuanced point. And I think that is something that is an interesting point that could be better articulated. I'm not really sure that Deroy understood that. I'm trying to give Sam Harris some credit here because I believe that is what Harris was getting at. Again, I've not actually watched this, but I think I vaguely remember something about that. Now, Deroy's absolutely right. Let's get some citations. Let's get some evidence. If you're making a generalized point about the practices of people in the 1st and 2nd century, that's hardly arguable. That's a hardly arguable point. Again, the invention of childhood, I'm mentioning that particular title for a reason, is something that brought about a lot of change in societies. So I think that it's interesting here to kind of listen to Deroy attempt to excoriate people while not understanding some of the finer points that are being offered here. But that tells you something, though. That tells you when you are having a debate, when you are engaging with somebody, the way that you articulate points has to be, let's say, varied. You have to understand your audience. Offering, actually, hold on, I'm getting some correction. No, not what Harris said, Dragnet. Harris was quite rightly pointing out that the same people, the culture community, were doing barbaric things, not the same individuals. Okay, thank you. So we got some clarification. Hogtie has actually seen that debate, and so is what you're telling me, Hogtie, and I can't believe this. This is probably not something I said maybe 10 minutes ago. Are you telling me, Hogtie, that Deroy Crews is offering his commentary on a very nuanced statement that Sam Harris made that he did not get? Is that what you're telling me? I cannot believe that Deroy Crews did exactly what the fuck I said that he's probably doing. At no point in time did I actually ever think that Deroy would take out of context something somebody said and then shit on it in a video. I would never ever believe that at any point in time in my goddamn life. Yeah, I try. Look, I try. I'm trying to give him credit, folks. I'm trying. Every time I try to give this dude a fucking chance, he fucks up. I can't do it.
If he had been able to condemn 10, he would. But he was only able to condemn 2 religions. That was Catholicism, which that's not even today, that's yesterday. Catholicism of yesterday, first of all. The Vatican of yesterday. And the Vatican is different than the American Catholics that run around here putting ash on their head on Wednesdays, okay, and think that they know everything they need to know about the Catholic Church. These ain't even real Catholics. Okay?
I don't think I've never met an American Catholic to say anything like that, actually. I think that's actually a misrepresentation. I'm going to defend Catholics here because I grew up around them. I've never actually met a Catholic that said that. In fact, most of the ones that I grew up with, because LO, Louisiana, most of them would insist that there is a separation between American Catholics and Catholics over in close proximity of the Vatican. In fact, there's a lot of cafeteria Catholics that majority of them kind of have their own theology, their own personal theologies that's even separate from the church. There are very few that are in lockstep with what their other parishioners even believe. The ones sitting next to them, the ones that are physically next to them, like their spouse. So that it is varied, but maybe he's not used to being around a lot of Catholics. I think that's just my experience, and again, I'm speaking on me literally growing up with Catholics almost my entire life. So, it is what it is.
Religious people. Okay, well, Catholicism is just a religion, but the Vatican, the true Vaticanites, are a different breed of people. They got some issues, man. Okay, but Sam Harris kept going back and forth to Islam. Freedom.
He even took notes and failed poor Lil D.
You know what? Sometimes when you take notes, you still do poor. I'm a big fan of that. I take lots of notes, and sometimes I still fuck up. So it's okay. It's okay, Deroy. It's all right. It happens, man. I understand.
And when he couldn't answer Craig's questions, he said, let me take It's just like I have to say it again. It's just like Islam, and I'm thinking, oh God. And then when they closed,
Hey, let me talk about that for a second, Deroy. Let me holler at you for a minute, my man. Let me holler at you for a minute. Now, you mean to tell me that you don't like it when people conflate two groups of people, even though they seem similar, they actually believe different things and they live a little bit different lives. So you mean to tell me that when you talk about atheism and then you try to compare it to the LTGBTRSYZ people, that's okay? Help me understand something, Deroy. Because anytime you start talking about atheists as a group, inevitably you talk about like gay folks. Because they're all one and the same, right? You know what? You don't believe in God, you suck a dick. It's all the same. It's all the same. You start disbelieving in the supernatural. You start wanting to move in with your lesbian girlfriend, getting comfortable shoes, renting U-Hauls, going to Home Depot. It's all part and parcel with it. It's the same shit. I love, Deroy, the hypocrisy there. You want to have a distinction between the people who draw their ire towards the things that you believe in, but it's easy for you to pretend like there's some non-believer melting pot where people who identify as a certain sexual orientation are the same thing as straight people who identify as fucking straight, but they're the same as bisexuals who don't actually exist. Sorry, bisexual people, you don't actually exist because lesbians and gays and trans people don't believe you exist. So I don't know what to tell you. Y'all argue that amongst yourselves, even though you don't exist.
he says, and as I was saying before, and then he said around the time he was closing, he says, are there any Muslims in the building? Oh my goodness. He felt he had to apologize to the Muslims. Yes, you do. Because you're talking about them. They're not part of the debate. He tried to go, and then he kept saying stuff like, well, William Lane Craig, his belief is. And William Lane Craig was like, no, I agree with you that you don't need a God to have basic morality. But the foundation of it, where does it come from? Harris couldn't answer that. I like Sam Harris because he's one of the more mellow atheists, and I believe he does a lot more homework than a lot of atheists do.
Like
he's
who?
more sophisticated. I'm sure he's loaded with money. He better be. But
okay, if you guys don't get the bisexuals don't exist, there's something called the bi erasure, and me being around bi people, I've learned that there are groups of people who think that bisexual folks don't exist. It's a running joke, evidently, among certain groups. So if y'all didn't get that, I'm explaining that because I thought that more people have heard of it, but I think that I have a interesting circle of people. So forgive me for not mentioning that is an actual joke in reference to something that happens among the LGBTQIA people. I'm sorry, I just wanted to say that because that's exactly how Deroy says it. He gets the letters mixed up and he just starts adding letters in there. That just tickles me. I'm sorry. I just want to do that. That's no other reason other than me saying that. So yeah. I'm actually pretty shocked that he likes Sam Harris. Actually, no, it's not strange. He seems to. So here is Deroy has kind of a spectrum of I don't want to say attraction because that's he's not gotten too homoerotic yet, so I don't want to say that yet. He has a spectrum on who he prefers, right, and who he's averse to. That's a better description. So if you guys have not kind of heard him talk about other atheists like Aaron Raw, Matt Dillahunty, so Aaron Raw is on the far end of the spectrum for averse. And so Sam Harris is like literally the first atheist I've heard him say that he really actually likes.
Black people do coke.
Black people do coke. I can confirm bias are a myth created by gay frogs. There we go. I making the fucking frogs gay. That is an Alex Jones quote in reference to Dr. I think isn't his first name Leroy? Oh man, he worked for Syngenta. I can't believe he's one of like the few black biochemists that I even know. Oh fuck. I'm gonna remember his name later. I'm just terrible at remembering shit. Anyway, if you don't know what the freaking frogs turning gay for, I don't know what to tell you. Get some internets. Get some fucking internets.
The same people.
It's gonna bother me.
That wrote the Bible killed children and buried them under buildings. Are you making this up overnight? Did you think this up before you got to the debate, Mr. Harris? Are you kidding me? That is so laughable. That's more laughable than Aries Spears. You know, Jamie Foxx. You know...
Dr. Tyrone Hayes. That's what I was thinking of.
Chris Rock. You know what I mean? Cedric the Entertainer. I mean, come on. You're talking about a movie you saw. That is totally logically untrue. But see, I know. If any atheists are watching, you don't care. I know. Just like you don't care about evidence.
Don't care about
because
evidence.
Like I said in another video, if you cared about evidence, you'd be looking for it. It's not evidence that you care about. It is our right to believe what we want to believe because you're afraid that that makes us better than you, and you are 100% right. It does.
Oh, I like this. This is the part that I like. I love this. This right here, this shit right here is what I love. Black people do coke. Yes, Steve. No, you're wrong, actually. Black people do crack. I don't even see the fucking super. Where is it? VA payday. So here you go. Oh shit, is it? Is it? I don't want no money from no fucking tankers. Keep it. Y'all need all the fucking money y'all get. Where is it? Is it really VA payday? I'm checking my phone right now. If it's payday, I'm gonna probably take everybody out tonight. Let me see. Oh shit, you're right. It is payday. Who the fuck sent me $25? What the fuck is that? What the fuck you do that for? It is VA payday. Yep. You are right. You are. I think I got my clothing allowance too. Oh shit. Yep. It is VA payday. Okay. All right. So I forgot what I was gonna say. God, that is Jesus. Imagine waking up to that. Y'all see that shit? Just you wake like you're just asleep. Imagine you have a vagina and you identify as a woman, and you just wake up and you see that like above you. Hey Shannon Q, how you doing? Sorry. I couldn't help it. I'm petty. Oh man. It's like waking up next to Paul Logia. I smell Cheetos. What? Paul, quit eating in the bed, Paul. Stop. That's how we get ants. So, yes, no, I've already started paying off the $99 that Xavier put towards food. That does pay. I have to pay the next like 4 or 5 meals now. So that's where that money goes. If y'all are wondering, that's exactly what's going to happen. Who the fuck sent me 25? Or who sent me that? Like I see it on here. I didn't get a notification because I like to give people a shout out when they do shit like that. I didn't get shit. Oh okay. Oh now there it is. Oh okay. It was Xavier. Oh yes. Okay. So the division. Okay. Awesome. All right, so I gotta get the Division 2 after this. All right, what was I talking about? Oh, that's not a mole. That's I think that's a skin tag. I don't think that's a mole. There's a difference. So this shit right here is what I love. Is what I fucking love. In order to kind of get some context, where I hit that button earlier and it minimized it. Where's that fucking button at? The mini player? There it is. Okay. Where is he was talking about haughty people. Plastic people have no foundation. There it is. Okay. I'm going to play some of this, okay? Just because I keep referencing this video, and I say when he says shit like that, I reference this video because he has this habit of
Black people do coke.
Black people do coke. When Real Life starts charging, when Red Lobster starts charging for cheddar biscuits, yeah, they charge for extra. You get 6 in the bag. It's sad that I know that, but you get 6 in any meal that you get, but you can order extra. I'm not saying I'm one of those people, but if you like cheddar biscuits inside of your lobster bisque, and you break it up and you like it just kind of mildly hot, just like right under the heat that it would require to burn your tongue, then yeah. So I guess I'll be playing Division 2 on PC with Soccer Count and some other people. I don't know, but anyway, y'all distracted me. Y'all distracted me because I was doing something. This shit here, I think this is a timestamp where he gets into it. I did not review this initially because it looked fucking boring. I don't know what plastic people mean. I understand when other folks kind of say that, you know. I kind of understand the reference. But when he says shit like that, I'm not sure what he means. So he actually brought this video to my attention because I didn't review it. Now, that sounds strange, and let me explain. If you look in the series of videos, okay, you see there's videos here where that's clearly me, where you see that thing pop up right there, because you can't see my cursor. You see that thing pop up? Right. That's clearly a picture of me. That's when he was actually responding to my shit. Damn, 5 months ago. Has it been that long? So I reviewed that. I reviewed the one next to it, Internet Trolling Stalking. You can probably guess who that's about. He did the video on plastic people.
Black people do coke.
Black people do coke. They were free when I was a server there. Utter chaos. Yeah, if you eat inside the restaurant, they're free. But if you want extra, because sometimes I just have it delivered. I don't feel like going sitting around people. But I reviewed Arm Raw Roars about evidence, and I skipped over some of these other ones. But I think I got down like here, and I'm not sure why. Yeah. So I was reviewing all this shit here, and I had to stop. Where you see the other picture of me in blue in my old goatee, because he had made a reference to another video, and he was all not upset, right? But he was a bit miffed that I did not review that video because it was in succession. It was clearly after the internet trolling one. Even though he said that he didn't like that I reviewed it, he wanted me to review that one. And so when he made reference to it, he says, well, it's interesting, Dragnot, that you didn't review that one. That one was about you. And I'm not sure how he missed the fact that I don't really listen to the shit. So I would not have gotten that unless I would have gotten halfway through that video where he makes some like sort of kind of overt references towards me.
Freedom.
For the price of just one order of cheddar biscuits, you can put a smile on an overweight loser's face. Please look into your hearts and give to this worthy cause.
You can go fuck yourself. So, the plastic people have no foundation video is about me. That I know that I say that, and half the time I'm joking. Other times I am actually serious. This is one of the times where somebody has purposely, other than put my fucking face in it, that video is about me. Now, what's interesting about that video, and it's here, is that he describes people who believe that they're better than everyone else when it's basically a facade. Like, that we all understand that dynamic. He actually creates an illustration in this video. And he stratifies people according to, income, socioeconomic status, yada, religion. And he talks about how he despises that sort of stratification because the people on the bottom are always looked down upon. What I love to point out is that he himself does that routinely, And you hear him do that. In fact, in the video that I have minimized down here that I was just playing, you heard him do that. So let me see. Hopefully I can keep the mini player down there. Where was I? That was, just in case, 1531. Okay. Let me play a little bit of this just so you guys can get a taste of what I'm talking about.
Embarrassment behind it. Doctors, nurses, okay, people that run hospitals, caught in scandal. And if not caught in scandal, then just enjoying the pleasures of the same thing that the little people under them, so to speak, the little people under them that don't get to drive the Audi or the BMW, they're driving the Ford. The same sexual immorality that these people are doing. Okay? But they want that lifestyle to where they can look down their noses at other people and say, I'm not like you. Sorry, I'm not like you.
You hear that?
Some people can go downtown Pittsburgh and give the homeless change because that is the only way that they can ever see themselves doing anything good. I've seen some good, way up there people reach in their pocket and give the homeless man whatever was in his pocket. Why? Because he's not going to spend it anyway. He's not going to do nothing but take it home and throw it on the dresser. I do that, and I don't make nearly as much money as that guy. But you think there's a difference between you and that homeless man because he's homeless and you're not.
Listen.
You think there's a difference between you and some of your patients
being sick
because you're making all this money.
Oh.
And you live in a better neighborhood. You live in a better house.
Listen.
You got more sophisticated and educated people in your circles. But these guys here, they from the ghetto, and everybody talks in Ebonics. They eating baked things and wieners out of a can, and you eat them.
So, money for your Uber drive to a job interview, you lazy scrub. I don't know why you're doing that. You're just going to take the money in my account anyway, but okay.
Caviar. They playing basketball on a broken down basketball court, and you are playing golf. But you think you're better than these people. But you're just as plastic. You are just as plastic as they are because you lack integrity. You lack integrity. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Let me read that again. If I can find my place. What to do with it? Oh, Lord, I done lost my place. Where we at? We in chapter 6. All right. 6 and 17. Command those who are rich in this present age not to be haughty, nor to trust in uncertain riches, but in the living God. See, I had a boss not too long ago who was a millionaire. And he, day by day, week by week, year by year, was humbling himself in the name of God.
All right, so that's a taste of what he's talking about. Now, you notice that he was talking about people who are living a little high and mighty. Not even high and mighty, just living better than other folks. People who make more money, who are more educated, who have something that they use to look down their nose at other people. Something that separates them.
Coke.
Black people do coke. Dragnet lives in the 5th Ward. No, the fuck I don't. But that's an interesting dynamic that Deroy has described there that is not unique to any of us, actually. All of us can identify with that in some way, shape, or form. Absolutely. What Deroy reserves, however, is the right for him to actually do that to other people. And that's what I find interesting about Deroy, is that he, just like G-Man, just like True Empiricism, just like Shanny, just like Rev, have a separate standard for everyone else to live by. They cannot actually abide by the rules of the road like the people that they look down upon. It's okay for them to criticize and look down at other people, but it's not okay when someone does it to them. And the people who I review on my channel all actually have that in common. If you guys haven't noticed that, every one of them is a hypocrite in that instance. They don't want people to actually look at them with ire, but they want the freedom and the ability to do it themselves with impunity. That is what I enjoy. I enjoy shining a light on that hypocrisy, because it shows you at the end of the day, no matter how people change in their life, no matter whether their income changes, no whether their physical appearance changes, no matter whether their exposure changes, that insecurity remains. And that is an insecurity that permeates through every facet of life. Doesn't matter what demographic you think you belong to, those insecurities remain. And I think it's interesting, just me personally. And that's one that Deroy has. Deeply, deeply insecure.
Okay. I'm better than you on my worst day.
See?
You are a sinner, minus the grace.
See?
Without grace, being a sinner is just nothing but being a sinner.
It's fixed, Sabella.
I'm a sinner, saved by grace. Okay? Now to an
NCC is
atheist,
garbage.
oh, that's a badge to go and do something crazy. Dude, I barely whack off. I barely touch myself or even reach my hand in my pants.
Okay, look, so I did not know that was coming. Well, that's bad phrasing. I did not. That's okay. That might explain a few things. That definitely might. Let me just let him play. Okay.
Pull it out to take this. Come on. Who's telling you this stuff?
Wow.
I'm better than you on my worst day. I'm better than you when I have a gun in my hand. I'm better than you when I'm sleeping. I'm better than you when I'm looking at a beautiful lady. I'm better than you when I argue with an atheist or a Muslim. I'm better than you.
Hey, is AO still in the chat? Hey, Demi, I found a new customer for you. This is like, what the fuck, man? That's okay. I guess we need to know that. Okay, you beat your meat. Before I go live, I beat mine, man. Okay, all right, cool. We're brother. Yeah, fat brothers.
When I am the most angriest. You know why? Because I always have a moral compass to go back to and say, oops.
Oh.
Whereas the atheist says, oh, don't worry about that. There's no Christians here. None of us are Christians, right? We don't need to worry about that.
Yes, that's definitely what we say.
No big deal.
We all say that. I'll do it.
And the fact that atheists justify everything that you cannot get arrested for. Just like you can't get arrested for being gay. So. Now,
this is interesting. Okay, so it's hold on, that's stupid, but that actually points at something, and I think that's again, this is actually a common misconception about what's legal versus what's moral. Now, and Deroy, you should take care to actually pay attention to this if you still watch. Segregation was legal. Was it moral? Think about that for a second. Don't conflate the two. And that goes for people who are trying to make moral arguments. Do not conflate legality for morality. They're actually very different. We try to align them in some cases, but in other cases we don't. You can have a more contemporary example with laws against the homeless, right? Ordinances against feeding homeless people, human beings who are starving, feeding them is illegal in some cases, in some circumstances. Not all, obviously. But you could talk about that. in our contemporary operating environment. 10 points if you get that reference. But it is interesting here that that's what Deroy thinks goes on. That's something that he, like, his I guess dialogue on what he thinks atheists talk about is very interesting, and it illuminates sort of his conception of what it means to be a non-believer. So that's something that I pay attention to personally, because it gives me insight on kind of where the disconnect is. Most people that you interact with, as far as Christians, they kind of understand. It's nothing really unique to them. But for Deroy, atheism is this strange realm where anything goes. You know what? That guy's wife over there is very beautiful. Let me put my dick in her butt. You know what? There's no Christians around. He's not really a Christian. He's backslide. I can just put my dick in her butt. Whatever. Like, just all kind of weird stuff that he thinks goes on, at least as far as rationalization goes for actions. And it's not the case at all. You can still have a solid moral framework that has nothing to do with religious belief. But for him, he's not privy to that. So he's kind of forced to contrive these scenarios. And because he limits his exposure to people he disagrees with, he's not going to be disabused of these notions. It's very interesting.
They're legalizing marijuana, can't get arrested for it. So you can't get arrested for cheating on your wife, you can't get arrested for fornication, adultery, or whatever. Like Sam Harris said, you have to make up, it's between you and her whether you want to do this or not. Huh? I don't need my wife to tell me that I shouldn't cheat on her.
That's good.
And it doesn't matter, and her cheating on me doesn't tell me to cheat on her. My Bible tells me. Separation. Freedom.
I bet Deroy prays his gay thoughts away too.
I'm pretty sure he's praying long and hard about that. Long and hard.
And fasting and prayer while you're separated, and then come back together, because God hates divorce.
How did that work out for you, D-Roy?
That's what my Bible tells me. My Bible don't tell me, well, we can discover what's wrong or whether adultery is wrong or right. We're still discovering it, Mr. Harris. We're still discovering wrong and right. How long you been on this planet? How long have I been on this planet? How long has my mama been on this planet? How long's your mama been on this planet, Mr. Harris?
What does that have to do with anything?
These atheists are laughable. Oh.
So little comments like that, even though they're somewhat flippant comments, I think, and maybe this is just me, armchair psychology here. He doesn't see the value in having an inquiry. He doesn't really see a value in exploring our conceptions of right and wrong, which are interesting because it goes back to what he said, legal versus moral. How do we come to the conclusion that you should not give alcohol to a child? Well, scientifically, we can show why, according to their development, right? In how it impedes their development. We can show that. But what about consent? Well, that's something that you can't really use hard science to determine. You could use it to help, but that's more in psychology, sociology. It's more in those kind of soft sciences. So when we start to explore those type of things, you know what? We look at it, we need to turn to philosophy. So we need to investigate. Well, why do we have these social stigmas? How do stigmas even arise? You know that adultery is wrong because the Bible told you. What if you had never read a Bible? You still think God exists, you still think the Christian religion exists, but you never actually read a Bible. How would you make that determination? Oh, then you would have to inquire. You would have to use your brain. I know it's strange. Think for yourself. Scary, scary world. But it is very interesting. Very interesting exploring the mind of Deroy. Very tedious too.
Oh my God. And I don't need to be a Christian to say that. I could be a Satanist. I could be an atheist. Oh my freaking God. These atheists. Oh my God. I understand Harris though. Harris made a boo-boo when he said that the same people that wrote the Bible killed and buried children under buildings. I laughed and then I felt like pissing on the screen. That is some bullshit. That is really, really a fat lie. I'll bet you this whole hand right here, my whole best hand, that that's a lie. If he's right and I'm wrong, please cut off my hand. I'll walk around one-handed to prove that that's a lie. That's a fat lie. He don't know what the heck he's talking about. This is why the Bible tells you, don't cast your pearls before swine. The word apologist is not in the Bible. Then you got Frank Turk saying stuff like it takes faith to be an atheist. How the heck you come up with that? That don't take faith to be no atheist. It takes faith to believe in the unseen. Okay? There are no atheists in Hebrews chapter 11, Mr. Turk.
I don't think you understand what Turk was saying.
Maybe it was a bestseller. Maybe it won some atheists to the Lord, so I'm not knocking it. But that's another fat lie. You can have my right hand too. Because the Bible says, the fool has said in his heart, there is no God.
Thank you for
quoting
Psalms.
Faithful. It didn't say the one that has faith. It said the fool. I think Frank Turek didn't use his Bible when he wrote that book. He just threw a good argument in there. And that's what atheists love, good arguments.
Good arguments.
And the one that commented on one of my most recent videos, I think it was the last one I did, about, you didn't say one shred of evidence for the existence of your God. First of all, I don't have my God. I have the Muslim God. I have the Catholic God. I have your God.
Thank you. Yes, semantics.
I have everybody's God.
Okay.
There's only one. And he's everybody's God, whether they accept him as
Deroy,
God
yes,
or not.
okay, yeah, we understand.
On the day of judgment, you will see, because on the day of judgment, you won't be talking to Sophia.
Let's belabor this point more. Okay.
Or any other God
how did you respond to it, Deroy? I don't give a fuck. Come on.
You'll be talking to God, the only true God, Yahweh.
God.
The only true God that exists, that has a body, that has a spirit, that has a holy one.
Jesus, I see why you live alone.
Okay? The only God that has a son.
Okay, yes, Deroy, I agree. Okay,
the only
cool.
God that was never, ever created by man.
Yes, Deroy. All right. Now, what was the reply?
I'm scared to death.
Was that the reply?
To be an atheist. Because out of all this evolution that has improved squat.
He's on another tangent.
Out of all these things.
Oh my God.
That atheists believe, and they say, oh, only Christians are dumb enough to believe in something that doesn't exist. Show me where evolution exists. I've never seen anything evolve into a human. I've never seen...
have you looked into the mirror lately? It's clearly you evolved from something. I don't know what. We have to redo the fucking tree of life to figure you out. But yeah, unfortunately.
Any other animal evolve into a dog except a dog.
I've never seen a non-dog transform into a dog. There we go, folks. Thank you, G-Manism 101. Game over, atheist. You lose, he wins. That's it. Dunzo. That is it. I ain't seen no non-dog turn to a dog or dog go to a non-dog. Show me where in the Bible a dog becomes a non-dog.
Any other cat evolve into a cat, except a cat of its kind, okay? Even the cat that my next door neighbor has doesn't evolve into a tiger.
Because that's definitely how it works.
And then when Bill Nye, the science guy, says dumb stuff like, oh, well, I stopped on the way to the debate, and I stopped and got out of my car and looked at the trees. And I could tell they've been here for billions of years.
He is tickled pink.
I got one question. What did they look like last year? Did you get out of your car last year and look at the same trees? Wait, the day you was born, did you get out of the car and look at them same trees in that same part of the town? Did you? Did you?
Checkmate, atheist. You lose.
I think...
Somebody getting arrested?
I think y'all are under the control of the evil one. The Bible says we know God because we're born of God and we have an understanding. but the whole world lies under the sway of the evil one, and I really believe it. You know, I just got done watching a video with Ray Comfort in it. Ray Comfort, I can understand why atheists hate him. Because he likes to pick at atheists. And he goes around with his big microphone asking all these geniuses on the street.
Because he's not been caught being dishonest and editing out people who actually understand what he's asking. Because it'd be interesting for me to go around to all the Christians, and trust me, I went around to quite a few who claim that they understand some basic science, like basic biology, and no, the fuck they don't at all. Even though I'm talking about the ones that go to the same university I go to, they do not. So if I went around and I picked out the ones that had the most far off tangential responses, and I said, this is what Christians believe, would that be, me being accurate? Would I accurately represent what's up there at the school? Me picking the ones that I find the most hilarious? No, it wouldn't. So when what's his fucking face does that, I'm not impressed at all. In fact, even the ones he keeps, you can hear those who are scientists or professors or whatever, that they're qualifying statements, because I've actually listened to quite a few back in the day, and you can hear the person qualifying their statement, and whoever edited the video didn't have sense enough to cut it off a few seconds early. But people have been privy to this for quite some time. You're not doing anything. That's just like people who go to the boardwalk and they start asking some questions about American history. Oh, look at what the liberal colleges are teaching these kids. Some of these folks probably not even fucking college. Some of them probably give two shits about American history. You picking out the ones that don't know shit from the ones you interview, that doesn't impress me. Those of us who aren't, I don't know, how can I say this? Not fucking stupid, understand how editing works. We understand what happens when you ask a variety of people from all walks of life who have a variety of experiences in education, asking them specifics on a topic they may not even know about. You're going to get a variety of fucking answers, right? Culling all the ones that you don't like isn't unique, and that's not objective. But, it is fine. If that's what you want to believe, Deroy, then you can have that shit-eating grin on your face. But there's a reason why his evangelical reach resides specifically within the people who already believe. I can't say that I know anybody who watched any of those fucking videos from his ass. It's like, man, you know what? Playing for the wrong team.
Evidence for evolution.
What's that fucking?
He's coming to you from. He's crushing your God.
Evolution God.
So that you can believe in the true God. Evolution is the excuse of most atheists.
Really?
We don't believe in God because of evolution.
I actually know. I think two atheists. There's two atheists that I can think of. Well, one. There's one right now I can think of that began his deconversion because of evolution, and that needs to be qualified a bit more. But him encountering evolution in an academic setting triggered his deconversion in a way. Other than that, I don't the comparison between believing in God and believing in evolution, I find it's just farcical, but it always seems like there's more to it, but there's not. God's on every Thursday on the CW show Supernatural. Oh, is that show still on?
Evolution because of science. So you're telling me science tells you what to do when your wife is cheating on you.
No, it doesn't.
Science is telling you what to do when you're having a bad day and you're ready to go home and get your gun and shoot somebody. Science tells you what to do.
Wrong job. Wrong tool for the wrong job.
Your doctor tells you they can't help you. You're going to die in 6 months or less. Science told you what to do. You're a fat liar. Science ain't told you squat. Okay? My Bible tells me what to do when my wife is cheating on me. My Bible tells me what to do.
Did it tell you how to get your wife back? Didn't seem like it worked. Just saying. Like, if we want to go there, Deroy, how's that worked out for you in your life? I've looked at some of your recent videos. I don't see a woman walking around there. I don't hear one. As much as you talk about it, much as you talked about that other woman and how good her thighs look and she got nice skin, all that shit, don't sound like that's working out for you very well. So it's interesting that you say that. I don't see that being effective in your life. But maybe you just bullshit. Maybe that's it.
When I've lost a loved one, my Bible tells me what to do when the doctor throws up his hands and says, "Hey, we can't help you." Wait a minute.
You called the dumb.
Did you talk to the holy and righteous Sophia, Dr. Brown? Because Sophia has an answer for everything. You mean to tell me this is the year of the atheists? This is the year of evolution. We are all no longer what we are called by the world, but we are whatever we choose to believe we are today. If I don't want to be a man, I can decide, you know what, I'm not a man, I'm a woman.
Okay. Live your best life, bitch.
This is the face of a woman. These are about to be boobs in 24 hours, okay?
Ooh. It's going to be a rough transition. Live your best life.
We live in a time like this, and you mean to tell me we still die from cancer? We've been dying from cancer. My grandmother died from cancer. That was moons ago.
Yep. I'm sorry. There's not a. And okay. This is something I've heard. I want to say my stepfather actually said something like this. I want to say that he actually said something like that. And I had to explain that there is no timetable on scientific discoveries. There's no timetable on medical interventions becoming. There's no benchmark, right, for that. That's not how any of that works. You just can't go, well, 50 years in the future, we know that we're going to have every case of lung cancer eliminated, and henceforth there will be no more lung cancer. That's not how any of this shit works. That's not ever how any of this shit works. I don't know where people get that idea from. I'm watching too much fucking sci-fi. That's not how any of this shit works. If he had spent more time, possibly, actually understanding how science, big S science, the institution of science works, maybe he wouldn't make stupid fucking comments like that. I'm not sure where he got this idea from, but he's not the only one. Like I said, he's one of many. Hold on, I'm getting text messages. To be fair, Deroy has more dignity and speaks English better than Steve. That's true. That is actually true. But man, oh man, this is painful.
Diabetes. All my uncles died of cancer. You would think that these atheists, these evolutionists, these people that have proven that we've all evolved from monkeys, from apes. I'm sorry, apes.
But
you would think, again, I'm going to say it again, that apes would be lined up at hospitals donating blood. You would think that apes
because donating blood stops you from getting cancer. By the way, is that how that? I don't know what that remark. I guess that's another flippant remark, but I don't know what that has to do with anything.
Would be signing a form to give up their organs. If they don't need the organ to climb the tree and grab a banana, they don't need it. But that's all they do when there ain't no humans around. Is climb trees and eat bananas. They kind of need
their organs like we need ours. What are you talking about?
Okay, so.
He just makes up shit.
The real moral argument is not agreeing on morality, Mr. Craig, but what morality really is, because that's where the atheists don't seem to understand. Because out of the same guy that will say that, oh, we agree that rape is wrong, the same guy will agree that homosexuality is love.
Awesome. Let's do it. Yes. I like it. I like it, Deroy, because man, oh man, when you conflate shit, you go whole hog. Man, so me taking your actually, let me not go there. Okay. Two consenting adults. Two grown-ass men who want to love each other in a very consensual way, a very sexual, romantic way, is the same thing as you being butt raped by your neighbor. Same exact fucking thing. And this is already sped up, by the way. Same fucking thing. That is the only, if you distill it down to sexual acts, which not all gay people do the same sexual acts that you think, that's how you make that connection. That's the only way possible for you to even remotely make that type of connection. If we just toss consent out and pretend like that doesn't fucking exist, I'm just going to assume that you found a bitch on the street and whacked her over the head with a club and drug her back to your house and she just now escaped. Because evidently consent doesn't actually matter in your world, in your reality. That has nothing to do with nothing. I'm just trying my best to understand where people get this stupid ass idea from. It's absolutely fucking stupid. Why would you ever make that type of connection? How is that even remotely similar? It took him a while to get to the gay stuff, but I mean, it's always on his mind. He has to pray it away just like G-Man. But man, oh man, we comparing apples and missiles.
And instead of helping homosexuals, you just scratch it off as an argument. Okay? I'm sorry, homosexuals, you need help. I called a homosexual that I know recently. And there's more problems than what they're doing with their physical organs. This is why God is the kind of man that he is, because this is why sin has to be sin and everything else has to be.
They're going through more problems than physical stuff. I'm pretty sure, based on the homosexuals, as you call them, that I know, a lot of them got psychological issues. A lot of them. And you'd be right to point that out. At least the ones that I know have those psychological issues because of people like you. That's why they have those problems. So if we want to put that out there, if we're going to bring that up, then you need to acknowledge that your gay daughter probably has psychological issues from dealing with your nonsense. And I bet, I would bet $100, that if I were to ask her, Deroy's daughter, would you mind disclosing whether or not you suffer from any psychological illnesses, any mental illnesses? And if so, do you think that they are in part due to your interaction with your biological father? I'm willing to put money on the fact that she says yes. Just so we can get real here for a second. Just so we can get fucking real here. Just because I actually know how to contact her, but I don't think that she wants to be a part of this. From his own indication, they're fairly estranged. But I'm willing to bet fucking money that she does suffer from some psychological issues, just like a lot of gay and lesbian folks that I know. And it's from people like him. It's from the shit that they do and the shit that they say. And he wants to skate over that. He wants to gloss over that. That your role, while you want to excoriate folks, you want to minimize or almost absolve yourself from responsibility from making that happen in the first place. If you look at the folks who are homeless, a lot of them fit in the LGBTQRS. A lot of them have psychological issues. I wonder how they got homeless. I wonder why they're suffering from these issues. It's almost like the same motherfuckers who are complaining about it are causing the problem in the first place. It's a possibility. I'm just throwing that out there. There may be some correlation with something somewhere, somehow, some way. I don't know. You might have to ask one of them bisexual people that don't exist.
Clearly figured out. Because, when I get on the phone with a homosexual friend of mine, his homosexuality seems to get in the way. Wait a minute, dude. We're not talking about. I'm not your boyfriend. Neither am I your ex-wife or your ex-girlfriend. Okay? I'm not your lover. Okay? Can you take a break and come back to earth? And let's get to reality. Can you answer a simple question? Can you talk about the job without throwing your gayness in there? Not to mention, when I go to Walmart, which I'm getting ready to go there in a minute, when I go to Walmart, these guys are so gay they can't stand to come to work.
What?
It's more than just what you're doing.
What does that even mean? They're so gay they can't even come to work. What does that mean? What? I'm feeling super gay today. I'm going to stay home and be gay all day. What the fuck does that mean? What is that? What does that entail exactly? Am I missing something? Are gay people so fucking fabulous that there's something in the realm of the gay force that they tap into from time to time that prevents them from moving? What does that mean? I need some context. What in the fuck is he talking about? I'm so lost. I'm gonna need somebody to explain.
With your sexual organs. It's more than just that.
I
Sexual
caught the
act.
gay.
Dominate your life.
Nothing.
This
I'm
is why
stuck.
the Bible tells us to flee sexual immorality. Because sexual immorality dominates your whole life. I used to go to church with a girl. And one of my best friends, he's still one of my best friends today. I haven't seen him in a while, but I still consider him my best friend. He texts me every now and then on Facebook. He
send me a text on
comes
Facebook.
to church one day and he sees another friend of mine, female friend of mine, who got married to another friend of mine. And he said, oh. I said, what's your problem? He says, he just turned his back. I said, what's your problem? He says, oh, I slept with her. My buddy's wife? He says, well, this was before she got married. I didn't know she got married, but I don't know when she got married. But I know me and her went out drinking one night, and we met each other at the bar, and we did our thing.
Bang, 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 bang. That's what happened. That's what happened. Same thing happened to me, actually. Same actual thing happened to me. It's a buddy of mine from high school who didn't know that I had married a girl that we both went to high school with, and he had sex with her. And I had found out later because she had told me, oh, yeah, you know so-and-so? Yeah, I said, me and him were best friends in high school. And then, yeah, I thought it was funny. So, and this is while I was in training as a combat medic. Did y'all know I was a combat medic in the Army? And I walked up to him. I was like, hey, man, I haven't seen you in a while. What's the chances that we're both in the Army at the same time? Yeah, hell yeah, I haven't seen you since Douglas Byrd. What's going on? Hey, you remember a chick? Yada, 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 yada. Oh, yeah, I remember her. Yeah, man. And so this is where I'm a dick. I go, yeah, man. You ever getting with that girl? Because I heard, man, she was pretty good. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah. We had sex. Yeah, once, but it was us. I said, okay, cool. Yeah. We're married now. The look on his fucking face. It's like someone just told you that they had won the lottery, but they were actually a day late to turn in their ticket. The shock and awe, and then kind of almost dread, because I could see the color draining out of his face, and it was priceless. I was like, man, I'm just fucking with you. I don't care. I don't care, because he started apologizing. Like, why are you gonna apologize? Why are you gonna apologize for you engaging in a romantic relationship with somebody that I wasn't even attached to at that point? Like, why are you? I like fucking with people like that. That's the fun thing about not being insecure. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit who she slept with. I slept with people. Okay. Person, not people. One person. Still, that was funny to me. That's the kind of shit that I do to fuck with people. Just know I do shit like that because I'm petty.
That's, oh my God. Okay. And then I started noticing after that she was doing everything she could to keep him and her husband from ever even meeting. Why don't you just tell your husband, heads up, I slept with that guy before I met you? Or, I don't want you, if he go to saying things, But I think her husband did find out, because he just got to the point where, he never shook it.
So I just sent Deroy Crews a friend request on Facebook We're going to see how this works. It's 2020. We turn over a new leaf. I'm going to try to be his friend.
Dude's hand. He never said anything,
I'm curious. I
Sexual
want to know about these
immorality
stories.
affects your whole life.
I want him to explain.
When women go out, it's one thing when men do it. It affects their life too, but it affects women.
If he blocks me, he blocks me.
Women go out and they sleep with random men. It affects their whole life.
He sent me a message on my Dragnet account.
Not to do that stuff. Okay? Find yourself a good man and get married. Morality
Find yourself
for
a
us
good
is
man and get
different
married.
than you. As long as you can't go to jail for it, it's legal. For us, as long as the Bible supports it, it's legal. That's the difference. That never gets talked about in a debate. Mr. Craig, don't waste your time casting your pearls before swine because they don't know what morality is.
Who is this? This is Deroy Crews, Mr. Tom Clark. This is Deroy Crews, Life Application Officer, and he is here on YouTube to help you be a better person, especially if you're a man with a penis. He's going to help you. He is here to ensure Crews like Terry Crews, ensure that you're living your best life. He is instructing people on how they should think about the world. And his method of doing that, his primary method of communication, is through YouTubes. He is not an evangelist, according to him. He is simply a man with a message, with a mission from God, who possibly is a closeted gay man. Possibly, I don't know. Deroy Crews, Life Application Officer, speaks extremely fucking slow. In fact, he speaks as slow as he thinks. But we should not hold that against him. We should take everything that he says with as much salt as can fit inside of this container of Tony Sachery's Creole seasoning. Because man, oh man, is he wrong about a lot of things. But he's entertaining as hell. And I love it. I love every second of it. It is awesome. It is awesome. It's my aphrodisiac. If you could have like a aphrodisiac for crazy stuff on YouTube. But anyway, you stick around, you might learn something. We all learn things from Deroy Crews. Don't we, folks? We learn lots of things from him. I learned how to avoid the work by being really gay and stuff.
They think morality is just, there's no police involved, so it must be okay. So when police and the FBI stop investigating child molestation situations,
what?
Where some child got molested, that day's coming.
What?
When they stop investigating it, it'll be legal.
That's not how that works.
When you call a cop on somebody.
What he's talking about is actually called decriminalization, but no, that doesn't mean legalization and decriminalization aren't the same thing. And at no point in time do I think that child molestation is going to be decriminalized. No, sorry, but okay.
That got done laying down with a kid, and they don't show up. I guess that makes it legal. That makes it right. And
it's a fact.
Men that sleep with boys are gay. Now you can separate different sides of the homosexual community if you want to.
That's weird. So pedophilia is a part of the homosexual community. Okay, well that's interesting, Deroy.
I don't see nothing wrong with that. Okay, but the fact is, if a man has a hard-on for little boys, he's gay.
If an adult has a hard-on for a child, it doesn't matter who the victim is. The fact that you want to focus on who the victim is to get to some greater point doesn't really seem as efficacious as you think it is. Because at the end of the day, if a pedophile priest is touching little boys versus touching little girls, what is that an indication of? That they have a preference in victim? Okay. That child can't consent, Deroy. Whether that child's a little boy or a little girl, or a child didn't even know. It doesn't matter. And that's something that you're extracting from this. His channel is Christian Lives Matter. That is his actual channel. He has another one, Crews for Christ. But yes, Christian Lives Matter. If y'all want to go look him up.
Okay.
He has a lot of interesting videos.
He's gay. And I'm gonna close there. Sam Harris.
A lot of fucking notes.
I already said it kept referring to referring Christians to Islam. Blah, 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 blah. That's a circular straw man argument that's missing some straws.
I need that clip. Whichever one of y'all do the shit with the clipping and the stuff and the sending, I need that clip. All this, the blah 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 blah, and the circular straw. I need all that. I need it all. That's going to be a new super chat. I need that.
It's got a lot of holes between straws. And you prove that you don't know nothing about Christianity. Even
it's
the
around 34 minutes.
Well, you might know something about Christianity.
Seconds.
You don't know nothing about the lifestyles of Christians, and you don't know much about the Bible when you tell us crazy stuff like the same people that wrote the Bible also killed children and buried them under buildings. He also said everything that is true and moral can be discovered. Okay.
Is Harris a moral realist?
Okay. Black Lives Matter just discovered that it's moral to kill cops.
Did they?
Okay.
Feminists topics
just discovered that it's moral to go against men and that all churches should be ran by women instead of men. You keep on discovering, Mr. Harris. Till next time, I am Deroy Crews, and I am your life applications officer. You can't take that away from me because I am steadfast, immovable, standing on the rock, which is Jesus Christ. See you later. In Jesus' name. Talk to you.
Well, I feel dumb. I don't know about you guys and gals. That was enriching. That was incredibly fucking painful. I don't even know what to make of that. That's it is okay, so Harris is a realist in a minimalist sense. Okay. I'm gonna pretend like I know what that means. Yeah, anyway, folks, we're gonna do some Magic Sandwich Show later today. I think it's around 7 p.m. 8 p.m. Just go to Magic Sandwich Show and then just click the reminder button. We're gonna have the New Kids on the Block version of moral realism versus moral anti-realism. Shannon Key's gonna be there. Kaylin is gonna be there. If y'all know Kaylin, she's a pagan. Kaylin pagan. Dallas Engineer's gonna be there, and there's gonna be some new folks that y'all don't know that's gonna be participating. So yeah, but this Saturday, folks. This motherfucking Saturday, I'm assembling a team.
Black people do coke.
Black people do coke. Walleye, crooked tooth, skin tag, neck reaper. I'm assembling a team of extraordinary gentlemen and women, possibly. We're heading to the mines. We're gonna do some digging. We're going to do some digging in the mines. And if you follow me on Twitch, you heard a little bit of the playlist that I'm going to be playing instead of the same lo-fi stuff y'all been hearing. So make sure that you guys hit that reminder button on the salt mine. There we go. I forgot to change the thumbnail. I'm going to change this thumbnail. Someone made a new one, so actually let me work on that now. But we are going to have some fun. It's not going to be me just sitting around talking. People who've had some issues with certain stories from Shani and Rev are going to be coming in.
Black people do coke.
Uh-oh. Black people do coke? It's going to be some G-Man, too. Going to be some G-Man. Tagged you on Discord. What'd you tag me in? I have the shit turned off. Oh, my goodness. Why would you... Okay. All right, well. That's on... All right. That... I'm not sure. That's... Okay. I don't even know what to... Thank you, Tatted. I'm not sure what to make of that. That's precious. That's absolutely precious. So I'm going to change. Yeah, I'm going to change that thumbnail because I forgot where I got the image. Anyway, that's just disturbing. I've lost my whole train of thought. All right, that's it, folks. That's it. I'm going to go eat and go to the gym and do something constructive in my life. My God. Just nasty. Disgusting. Ew. Fuck out of here. Oh, I'm going to be downloading The Division, and I guess we're going to be playing that, and I'll probably be uploading shit like that to upload and going live on Twitch. It's twitch.tv/dragnuts. I'm going to try and have all my gaming stuff on there for those of you who are interested. And, Atheist Experience. It's going to be April 5th, I want to say. Let me double check. I know some of y'all are asking about that. Let me double check. April 5th, yeah. So I'll be back on Atheist Experience April 5th. So there you go. I do gym videos. I mean, if you want some videos of me in the gym, all right. I mean, that's fine. I'll upload some of that. So if you are, I want to say there's a handful of people who are on Patreon who are of the tier where you get to choose what me and Matt talk about. You might want to, I'll put up a post for people to choose. So you can like type something you want me and Matt to talk about. The Division will be on PC. Yeah, I think we're playing on PC. I'm going to use my controller anyway, but it's going to be on PC. So, it looks like that's what we're doing. So, all right, folks. See y'all later.